Here we go. Okay. Salutations and good morning, everyone. This is me, Pearmare, and this is my friend, Pan.
I'm Pan.
We are at a diner here to interview someone and talk about a certain generation that may or may not be coming up eventually, called Generation 6. You may have heard about it. And to do so, we have a special guest. Woo! It is Tootsie Forever. Say hi, Tootsie.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. Thank you for having me, Pear and Panny. Or Pan, sorry.
Panny.
Sorry, I'm terrible.
Wow, that's a friendly name.
Where's that voice coming from?
He is on the intercoms right now. Don't worry about it.
It's like a first-person perspective.
God, is that you?
Yeah, this is just a chill video. We're just gonna be talking about our wants and desires for the upcoming generation, in the hopes that it will be the best one. You know, there's a dream there somewhere. We could dream.
Who knows best about future pony generations than boomer bronies?
Hell yeah.
I mean, true.
We know better.
To be fair, I mean, it could go in either direction at this point. Like, it could either go back to its original roots for, like, how it was done in the 80s, where it's more focused on girly stuff and, you know, pony adventures, or it could maybe go to, like, take the G4 and G5 route and kind of do its own thing in terms of, like, how different G4 was from the previous generations.
Yeah. So we should probably start out by just, like, giving the briefest, just, like, our, like, experience with the previous generations, then we can talk about G6, right? So Tootsie, if you want to go over like your thoughts on like the previous generations, you know, that you've seen and stuff, and what you think about them, and you know, we can go from there.
Well, I'm definitely not one of those. I know there's a lot of fans out there that just really do not like the previous generations of Friendship's Magic. Like, talk to any Modern Brony about Generation 1 from like the 80s, and they like freak out about how like kind of cringe or too girly it is. But I actually fairly liked it, probably because I would watch some episodes of it with my aunt whenever I came over to her house when I was a child, just because I really kind of actually liked the old generations. Like, I understand why some people are very on the fence with them, but I honestly didn't think they were that bad. Like, Generation 1 really inspired a lot of stuff from Generation 4 and I think Generation 4. I mean, Twilight's mom, Twilight Velvet, is literally based off Twilight from Generation 1. And so, I like it. I will admit it does have some corniness. Forgot what the second one was, because I always get corrected on it, but I remember there was one where they were, like, in school. Imagine Equestria girls, but they were ponies, but they more focused on, like, boys and being girly stuff. It wasn't that good, but I can see why people liked it. And then I don't even know what what was 3.5? What was Generation 3? Do you guys remember?
The Cursed Generation, where they look like babies.
3 is the one with like Minty.
That was 3.5.
And 3.5 is like not as small one, and then there was like the 3.7 or whatever people call it, with like the even smaller baby ones that we don't talk about.
I think it was Generation 3 that had like Minty, and I loved Minty because she's basically the predecessor of, or before Derpy. Like, I got a plush of her, and I remember when I was at Winnie City a couple months back, and I found a Minty brushable figure, but they wanted like $90 on it, or $90 for it, so I got her. But
phony.
And then Generation 3.5, and that's the one that's why I describe that. It's just a knockoff of Rugrats.
I'll have to take your word for it. I haven't really seen much of 3.5. That's like the one I haven't put.
Well, it's basically, I want to say it's kind of like Rugrats, but the budget wasn't very high because they don't even have mouth movement.
Oh, don't diss Rugrats though. That was my jam.
Oh yeah, Rugrats was amazing, but what is it? Then Generation 4 came out, and then that's when, well, I think we all know what happened there.
Nah, I don't.
Lasted like 9 years, and then when Generation 5 came out, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not gonna say I dislike Generation 5 because I love the movie. I loved the Generation 5 movie. I love it so. Like, my problem,
characters.
My main issue, my main issue with like the series was just that it was kind of the Generation 5 movie was such a huge, like, big step into what I guess it gave us unrealistic expectations for what the series was going to be.
It was beautiful. Like the animation, the characters were fun, and in the songs,
Oh, yeah.
I still listen to the songs to this day.
I actually really like the Make Your Mark show, but when they committed to just short form content, I feel like they didn't have any time to give good character building, story development, world building.
I feel like the issue was like it was 3D animated. Like I feel like Make Your Mark had an issue because it was a 3D animation, and you guys do animation, so you kind of know how long it takes. And with CG animation, I feel like it was really like it was kind of difficult because with Friendship is Magic, it was all 2D animation, and the previous generations were all 2D animation. So like they could get away with a lot more stuff, but it's like if they wanted to do grand stories, they had to do like they had to make more models, which is cost a lot more money. But I will admit, the Make Your Mark series. Oh, sorry, the doorbell went off. Yeah. But with the Make Your Mark series, I just like it did increase with each chapter. Like the animation did get better because if you saw I think the first one was. I don't know. It was the one that focused on Zip. That one definitely looked kind of rough. But then the next chapter looked way, way better.
Yeah, by the end they got their bearings, they got their footing, and
they learned how to make a good show. They're ready to go now, and then it ended.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate Make Your Mark. A lot of people think I hate like the Netflix series, but no, I don't hate it. It's just like I see why a lot of people like it. It's just not really for me.
Yeah, I don't hate it. It's just I saw potential, especially with the movie, and I was excited for that potential to soar through the sky, and I don't feel like it soared as high as it needed to. That I wanted it to.
No, my main issue with the Make Your Mark series is that they kind of backtrack on a couple of my characters. Like they improved Pip a lot because the movie she barely did anything, and then in the series she was like her and Zip were like my favorite characters. But the problem, I really did not care for Hitch. Like Hitch and Sunny and Izzy were just they never grew on me. And that's not a disrespect on the voice actors or anything. They're just doing their job. It's just the writing for them just wasn't the greatest.
Yeah,
Zip and Pip were carrying the whole show because, as you can tell, they were my favorite.
yeah. Hitch actually
my favorite.
Hitch ungrew on me because ever since they came out with Sparky, I'm like every time Hitch showed up, Sparky had to be with him, and I was like, please no.
Where's my baby?
He was cool in the movie, and then afterwards,
I think this video is it's turning into a shitting on G5.
I will shit on G4. I will shit on G4 as well. Just you wait.
Oh yeah, same. There's a lot of issues with G4. We don't talk about season 8 and 9.
Hey, I like 8 and 9 because they had the friendship school.
Oh no, we're not hating on Generation 5. We like it. We just think there's always some improvements. Like Generation 4 was not like I admit a lot of people do not want to hear it, but I was kind of glad when Lauren Faust left the show after season 3.
Tootsie can't see us right now. Tootsie can't see us right now, but we're making a. We're doing a gesture.
It's just like I love Lauren Faust, but I just did not like her writing. Like I love her to death. I respect her for making Friendship is Magic, but I just did not like her writing or some of the views that she did for Friendship is Magic. Like don't get me wrong, some of them are good. Like the positives obviously outweigh the negativities, and I respect Lauren Faust for like an animator and all that she's done. But I don't know. I just think the show got better after she left.
Yeah, I do feel like it you could tell it got better with season 2 and 3 and 4. 4 a lot of people say is the best season. 4 and maybe 2 and they're all up there.
Yeah. What about you, Pan? What do you think?
I miss her.
Oh my gosh.
Without her, we wouldn't have had any of it. So.
Yeah, you are right. You are correct, and that's probably the one I will always say this is that the main problem, well, for you, not really a spoiler, but Generation 5 was unfortunately canceled unexpectedly, and I feel like the main reason it was canceled, it had nothing to do with the writing or how it was how it was received or whatever the analytics of it was, but I think it more have had to do with the high expectations that Generation 4 set. I will say that probably Generation 4 killed Generation 5 just because of the high expectations that Generation 4 had because of how well it was received and how much money it made Hasbro. I mean, we got 9 seasons, we got like 4 or 5 or 6 movies if you count Equestria Girls. They probably made like billions of dollars worth of toys. And so I feel like when Generation 5 wasn't performing to the level of Friendship is Magic, that's when they just decided to just like, you know what, let's hit the reset button.
Yeah, the high expectations, it doesn't help that, the G5 movie came out and that was like, so good and like so well animated and cinema. And then like if you like go to that movie and then like, oh, I'm gonna go on YouTube and watch like Taylor or something, this see how it continued on, and
Yeah. I just feel like Friendship is if Friendship is I don't know. I could be wrong here, but I just really think Friendship is Magic is what killed Generation 5 just because of how big of a success it was. Because I kind of knew going into it, like, I kind of knew, like, Generation 5, I was always going to treat it as its own thing, but I just feel like with the high expectations coming after Friendship is Magic, like, a lot of people had high expectations for it.
Also, it didn't help that they set it in the same universe.
Oh, that was the one thing that annoyed me so much. It would have been so much better if it was just its own thing. Like, I don't care if it's set in the same universe, but, like, it said it was set, like, what, thousands of moons into the future, but yet, like, it didn't really work that well because the problem with, like, setting it in the same universe is, like, a lot of people are like, where are the Wendigos? Because the races are divided. What happened to the students? What happened to the main 6? Blah, 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 blah. But the main issue with that is, like, a lot of people don't know this, is that Generation 4 is owned by Hasbro, but it's also owned by Discovery Family. And so, I remember, I think there was, like, a leak a while back where they actually had to pay Discovery Family, like, a lot of money just to use Twilight for that one scene in the first chapter of Make Your Mark.
That's where all the budget went, yeah.
Yeah, because I know, like, I know Discovery Family owns a lot of it. I know there's, like, a lot of legal stuff. I think I was talking with Little Shy about this a while back, but there's a bunch of legal stuff involved when it comes to Generation 4 and some of the characters and stuff. Because, yes, Hasbro does own them, but Discovery Family is also has, like a large partial ownership of it, even though it's owned by, I think Discovery Family is owned maybe by another company as well, and just has like joint partnership with Hasbro. But that's like a lot of weird legal stuff involved.
Yeah, so these generations are wacky, right? Like who knows what they're up to? but the whole like bread and butter of this video, right, is gonna be like what we want like the next generation to be, and we just want it to be the best it can possibly be, So yeah. So we wanna start talking about a little bit of what we want to see in the future, maybe.
Pan, do you want to add anything first?
More Griffins.
Just more Griffins. Yeah, I mean
that's all I want. If the main 6 is all Griffins, main 5, 3, 2, whatever, I don't care.
I feel like they're gonna probably stick to the pony main characters. I don't know. I feel like they regretted having a male main character in the last generation.
He was never on any marketing. Rest in peace.
I mean, actually, yeah, you're right. I think I had plushies of.
Did he get any toys?
He did. But I remember when the plushies first came out, it was just the girls. It wasn't like Hitch was. Hitch did come out eventually, but he was in very limited few, and he goes for like I think $100 on eBay. It's like wow.
Yeah, it's like when I went to HarmonyCon, right? And I went to the plushie stall. Where was the Hitch plushie? Was everyone else?
There was not one.
Yeah.
But even the fans don't make the plushies of a man.
I think another thing I would really like from Generation 6 is, I wanted to have, this is probably asking too much for, a cartoon show about magical talking horses and stuff, but I want the age rating to go up.
Yeah, I see that, because one of my things is, like, I really want it to be, like, one of those big, like, cartoons, like, when I think of, like, big cartoons that I love, like Gravity Falls, or Owl House, Amphibia, all those like big cartoons that
Centaur World.
Yeah, Centaur World.
I'm trying to think of what the age rating was, but I remember Gravity Falls and Avatar: The Last Airbender had the same rating as their show, and that's just one step up from what Friendship is Magic was. And I think if they did stuff like that, if they had the age rating a little bit up, they could get away with so much more stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, Friendship is Magic should not have, or my bad, any My Little Pony form should not have blood or shouldn't have anything blood or like major violent, but you get what I mean, right? Because Avatar: Last Airbender got away with like a lot of stuff for its age rating. They just couldn't say the word death or die or the D word, which is funny because I was watching Bluey recently, and they with a few friends, and they could actually say the D word, which is unheard of in like a show, which is unheard of, or it's extremely rare to hear in like a child show. But I just want to see the age rating go up, and I wouldn't mind. I just want people to understand. Like, I want something different. Like, I love Friendship is Magic. I love G5. But Jesus Christ, no disrespect here, but just give us something new. Friendship is Magic was so different from the previous generations, and that worked, but it also took a huge risk. I want something new. I want new lore, new characters, a new setting. Do not have, like, the problem of setting it in the G4 universe, because that's just, I don't know, it just, like, I want something new. I want them to be able to do their own, like, have their own unique stories with their own lore and world building. Sorry, I'm going on, like, a rant. I'm not trying to. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Keep the same species. Like, keep some of the world building, but just different.
Species is kind of just
I love the world building of Friendship and Magic where they had, like, each, like, different species. But yet some of the species, like, really confused me because, like, what was considered sentient or not. Like, remember Friendship is Magic, like, you would think all the hoofed creatures were sentient, but no, you got, like, a deer that's like a pet, Fluttershy's giving him away, and then you got, like, the giraffe with the pony eyes, and, like, the pony design, like, actually looks like a character, but no, it's just an animal, so it's like, I want stuff like that, where it's more of like, flesh that out a little bit. Like, I guess, with what you said earlier, it's like you want different species, but yeah.
It's kind of in the realm of like what setting do we want G6 to be set in? Is in like, do we want it to be more fantasy based like G4 was?
Yes,
like
100%.
Or like modern like G5 with like cell phones and all that stuff that they had.
No, it's gotta
no ponies.
It's gotta be set in real. It's gotta be set in real life. We gotta have humans walking around with them. Gotta bring back Megan where they have their cell phone, have like a 9-to-5 job, like basically have what we have now.
Yeah, I hope it's big fantasy. I'm just a big fantasy, fan. So I'm like, bring back like, dragons and dungeons and adventures where they go out and, yeah, just stuff like that.
I get you.
They really didn't leave the vicinity of Maritime Bay for 95% of the show in G5, so
yeah,
I think some settings would.
It was mostly, well, in the comics they did a lot of that, but no disrespect to anyone who reads the comics, but nobody reads the comics. Because I know one of my friends is really big into the comics, and he was telling me that there's a huge difference between the characters there's like a huge difference from like the comics and the TV, or from the Tell Your Tale and the TV show, because the comics do a lot better job of exploring the lore and actually doing different places because they're not limited by by a budget.
And like,
it's all
and 5
creativity.
minutes or whatever, how long.
Oh yeah, in 5 minutes.
Yeah, people have to be able to tune in and be able to catch the entire plot in that 5 minutes and finish it. It's YouTube kids content.
One thing I kind of did like, and I'm probably gonna get some flack for this, but I loved. I saw the show recently called Wild Mains. I love the designs of those characters.
Yeah, I like the designs.
They do horses good.
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't mind those type of designs from Wild Mains in like maybe in G5 or not in G5, G6, because Wild Mains actually looks like it's this is weird when I was watching it, but when I was watching Wild Mains, I was like thinking it's like, this looks like it's set in the Friendship is Magic universe, but it's like we're in Saddle Arabia because they're all like massive horses.
Yeah.
Hasbro steal Wild Mains designs right now.
I mean, they sold multiple things, so wouldn't surprise me if they were stealing those.
Hey, every good idea comes with stealing other good ideas. That's the way.
No, we use this as quote-unquote inspiration or influenced.
Yes. Okay. Now, another point of a topic we could talk about in G6 is what kind of animation style do we want with it? Do we want 2D back? We want to keep it 3D?
I would love 2D back because there's so much you can do with 2D animation compared to 3D. I'm so tired. Why is it a rule now that every animation cartoon has to be like 3D?
Oh, apparently it's cheap. Like, apparently it's cheaper and easy. I mean, most animation nowadays like is going big into like 3D. People are more learning like Blender and stuff more than anything.
Yeah.
They're just riding the backs of Cocomelon and Illumination. That's just what has been making so much money. That's what everyone wants to use because they think it'll work for them too.
I just think 3D animation.
Back in 2010, that's when 2D was still really popular. So.
But there's so many good shows that are still 2D. It's like I love 2D animation so much better than 3D because 3D you're always limited by budget because depending on unless they're throwing millions and millions and millions of dollars at the animation, it's gonna look like it's not gonna look very good considering like they're gonna have to reuse models a lot.
Spike.
That was the main issue I had with like the new Fairy Odd Parents reboot was just the fact that they were very limited by a 3D, so certain things had to be scrapped or reused because when it comes to 3D animation, it's like, oh, we need like they wish for a car. Okay, it's obviously gonna take a lot of money to model a car.
And like I like Tell Your Tale, like the animation style, they got to do so much more cool stuff.
Oh yeah,
the animation.
100%.
Like they know how to do it, they know it works. Just do it again, but better.
100%. What do you want to add, Pear?
Yeah, because 3D animation also ages a lot more poorly unless there's like unless you put a heavily influence in like art style. 3D doesn't age as well as 2D will. So, like I know something like Jimmy Neutron honestly still looks decent in some spots because of their wacky art style and a lot of the characters.
Yeah, because some 3D will always be
the Neutron style.
They could
handle it.
It's like watching or going back to rewatch Toy Story. Still a good movie, but you can tell the 3D is a little off in some cases, especially with the humans.
Meanwhile, I can go back and watch like Tarzan, older 2D movies, and I'm like, damn, this looks good.
Yeah. I guess it just depends. I mean, depends on what the budget for the new generation could be. But they'll never disclose that unless someone actually,
Do you think they'll be like, we should go all out on G6? Let's put Transformers level budget into My Little Pony, because fans want to see it.
If it's anything like that leak we got a while back, where it was like mixture of G5 and G4, where they were where they were it's like a 2D animation. If anything, I think they're just gonna try to go back to G4, which sucks because that's like, pun intended, beating a dead horse.
I really don't think I'd hate that. As long as they just do it as a completely new timeline, new...
Kind of like what Pony Life did?
Kind of. But I wouldn't mind the main 6 coming back, just do it differently this time.
You can say that, but I guarantee me and probably other people will still watch a new reboot of the main 6 and go, oh, the old main 6 were better. Oh
yeah, it's always going to be. That's the main issue with setting it in the same universe or using the same characters. It's it's always going to have that cloud. Generation 5 had this problem where it's it's always going to have that cloud. It was there's always going to be questions and no one's gonna they're not gonna answer it because I don't know. I don't mean to go on a massive rant, but it's just I don't think it should do that. I really think it should be its own thing with new characters. Don't get me wrong, love the main 6, but I think we need something new because we can't. It's hard when people say they miss Generation 4, and it's I can't because I feel like it never died. It never died because it still keeps coming back in another form.
Hasbro does keep putting G4 on the marketing stuff and stuff on stores still.
That's just to appeal to us though. That's not.
Oh yeah.
Are you sure there's G4 diapers out there still in Walmart you can get? I mean, I guess it could appeal to us for brownies. I mean.
Well.
Okay. I mean, pull out my list unless we have anything else to talk about on that subject.
Try not to rant too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. All right. Oh yeah. How plot heavy would you want G6 to be? Like, do you want it mostly just slice of life pieces, like kind of what G5, kind of what G4 did, or do you want it like as far as like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where every episode's like connected?
I want
some
overarching stories, because that's what another small detail that I didn't quite like about the G5 transition from the movie to the show was that Sunny literally became a princess in the movie. Done. Now she has no more character arc for the most part.
She's no longer a main character.
I didn't like that. So like, and then all you had was slice of life. So with like the occasional, you know, Misty and the cat.
Yeah.
That was about it.
I'm kind of on the fence about it because I can't really decide, because I want to say we could have like an overarching. I kind of like. I hate bringing this up, but Friendship is Magic, I feel like, had a really good blend of it. It's like you had some episodes, like I think, what is it? Season 4 was like the first time they actually had like a season arcing plot where it was with the keys and stuff. And so you would have some episodes that were all like some that were slice of life and standalone, and then others that were like had more to do with the overarching season narrative, which I like, because I kind of like I honestly like more slice of life stuff more than I like an overarching story.
But there has to be some overarching story. It's the same formula that all the successful TV shows have done, all the successful anime, you know, like whatever you watch. It's a very good, proven formula. Overarching storyline, slice of life in between that get us to the end.
I feel like it should only work like just go by season, but the problem is, unfortunately, we're in a different time now where everything is streaming and we only get like 8 episodes a season, so it'll be so dumb, because I like the shows when they had like 26, 24 episodes a season. Like that actually felt like, oh sweet, we have like a giant like because the G5, since it was all mostly released on streaming service, which kind of killed all hype for it after, like, it was hype for, like maybe, like, about a week or two, and then after that, you have to wait, like, another year or, like, 7 or 8 months for, like, the newest batch to come out.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going back to...
I know, because TikTok and social...
People need instant gratification. So
I just want a TV show. I just want a normal TV show again.
We need the streaming industry to collapse just so we can go back to those, like, having, like, 20 episodes a season. Because that made it so justified, because you could spread that out within, like, a year. And that's what I loved it, because it actually built, like, it also had a community with, you know, going to... watching it on TV with your family or friends, or going to, like, live stream groups to watch it online, because it was so cool to have that social interaction back in the day. But that's not going to happen anymore because everything's dumped on streaming, and so you binge it all within like 5 hours, and then you just gotta wait like a year and a half.
They could totally do the release style schedule again, because it works with things like The Boys and a lot of Amazon shows that just release them one episode every 2 weeks. I love that. And then we know it works.
If Hasbro is still going with Netflix isn't going to do that, unfortunately.
I hope they go with Amazon Prime.
Is it impossible to do with Is it impossible to do that with Netflix? Just release it?
No, they can do it. They thought about it, but I don't know if anything ever came of it.
Because the whole dumping all at once, man, it's so depressing just watching it all. Like, you want to watch it. Like, of course you're going to watch it all as quickly as you can, otherwise you'll get spoilers and stuff if you don't, right? So you got to watch it quickly. But then it's like so 100%. Sad because you watched it all and it's like, great, can't wait for another year and a half. Like, it's back to waiting.
All this waiting. All at once and waiting
again. Yeah. Like, it's only hype. It'll be hype for a few days, and then after that it just dies out, and you're just like, huh, okay. And then you just completely forget about it. And then you like the new season comes out, and you're like, oh. Okay. And then,
I remember in G4, every time an episode came out, you know, every time there would be a flood of new fan fictions all about that one episode. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
Like, does that happen in G5, or is it also just like a bulk of fan fictions all about certain things in the season, or like?
Honestly, I'm not sure. If anything, I'm sure there's tons of fan fictions out there for it. Yeah. I don't really read fan fictions. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just cool just to always go on Equestria Daily or somewhere, and then be just all kinds of new posts and art of just that one new episode. And it was good. It was a good time.
What's next on the list?
How long do you? Well, it's kind of what we've been talking about, but like, so do you want like a? We all agree that we want like back to at least 25 minutes an episode, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I don't think. I guess it just depends on how it's done, because I watch a bunch of live-action shows, mostly superhero stuff, of like Arrow, The Flash, Legend of Tomorrow, and Supergirl, and a whole bunch of those, and they all had episodes that were like 40 minutes long, and I loved them. 20 episodes, or was it 26 episodes, and they're all 40 minutes long. But it all just depends on the budget. Hasbro, if anything, they should just stick with like I think 20 minutes was fine. Dumping it all on YouTube with weekly releases like Tell Your Tale, I get what they were doing there, but I just feel like that stuff is much better to TV. But I think with this day and age of what we're living in, it's just gonna go straight to streaming.
Yeah, I don't think Hasbro just thinks, oh, we gotta make it so short and small so to keep their attention. Gotta jangle some keys real quick. I don't want them to leave. Don't want them to not watch the episode.
Generation 6 will be on the TikTok format.
It's gonna be like
30-second episodes. That would be
30-second episodes.
Insane.
Oh man.
30-second episodes, and they're gonna be exclusively on TikTok.
Yeah, I'll be mad then, because that should have been freaking Pip's thing in G5. It would have been cool to see like Pip have TikToks actually on TikTok of like animation and stuff of her.
Oh yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. But it also just depends on the creative standpoint of what they want to do. Because Generation 5, a lot of people don't know this, is like Generation 5 was actually created by by G.M. Barrow. She mostly wrote a whole bunch of books for Friendship is Magic, and she wrote one of the worst episodes of Friendship is Magic, The End and Friend. And when she got the helm of Generation 5, and I feel like she was more... Hasbro, okay, Lauren Faust would always fight Hasbro in terms of what they wanted in the show. Like, for an example, Hasbro wanted to push toys and girly, or wanted to mostly just push toys. And Lauren Faust always fought back on all these studio guidelines that Hasbro wanted in Friendship is Magic. I don't think, no disrespect to G.M. Barrow or anything, I don't think G.M. Barrow really fought back on a lot of it, because I'm sure Generation 5 might have had, like, a lot of studio meddling, and I'm hoping that Generation 6 doesn't have that much.
Yeah, hopefully they let their artists do their thing and have their vision.
That's not going to happen.
Right? Maybe the occasional toy tie-in, like in G4, you know, but, like...
Pear, I don't know if you... Pear? Have you seen the animation, or my bad, yeah, the animation industry right now?
Look, we can. This is a dream and hope wish list. Okay, we can dream.
Good point. Good point.
But every dream has to end.
Bring back Twilight's tree.
Oh my god! Bring back the students. Actually, Oh, I'm gonna sound like a total contradiction here, but is it? I actually kind of want to see. Okay. I don't hate the idea of it being in the Friendship is Magic universe, but I really just prefer if they did a spin-off series of Friendship is Magic with, like, the Student 6 or the Last Problem characters when Lester Dawn went off with those people. Like, I don't care. Like, if it's Friendship is Magic, like, fine. That's fine. Use the Friendship is Magic lore, mythos, all that stuff, but just make it a spin-off then.
That's what I've always... That's what I've always been... That's what I've always been
I mean, they can always still use the same Friendship Magic stuff, but if they did a spin-off series, then they could really capitalize on it. But, I don't know, maybe they will do that with Generation 6, maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping. You get me excited now.
That's what I always said I wanted in, like, the universe. Like, if they're going to keep it in universe, let it be in universe, because I do like the universe and the lore of, you know, Generation 4, of course. But, like, have it set in, like, Trottingham with a bunch of new, like, British ponies, right, that are, like, new. And it's, like, all around their adventures, and they have nothing to do with, like, you know, the G4 ponies. But maybe they can occasionally reference like Princess Twilight and stuff occasionally. But you know, have it just be focused on them.
British people aren't.
Yeah, and of course, Smolder and Silverstream, you know, Celis, they show up. You know, of course.
I want the student six-pack. I feel like they would be cool, or at least have Lester Don's gang or something.
Lester Don's gang, yeah.
I don't know what it is. My bad,
friendship
gang, but they're a little friendship group.
Yeah, poor Lester Don, you know.
Yeah, there was a Griffin in the night group, so I agree. They should bring that
There's
back.
a Yak, too.
Or have it focus on a new generation, so not the movie New Generation, but maybe one of the main six's kids or something.
New generation.
Oh, like Pinky's kid. Like it focuses on Pinky's kid.
Little Cheese, maybe. Weird Al comes back. Weird Al the show with ponies.
No, I'm just saying it's like it could be focused on like maybe the main six's kids or something. I don't know.
As long as it's, I don't know, because if they get too old, the kids, it's gonna run into the G5 problem for me, where it gets too depressing, where we start seeing the main characters all old and disheveled. I'll be like, oh, that's me. I don't want to be like that. No.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas here.
Hasbro, if you're listening.
Hasbro never listens.
I know. Oh man. Okay, next topic, I guess. Alright. Yes. Well, we've already... Well, I like how we're just passively covering some of the stuff I have on this list. Like, I wrote down... I wrote down, like, you know, fan reach, Hasbro interaction with fans. Kind of covered most of that. I know.
I don't think Hasbro's ever going to change with the...
They're not going to fucking do that.
Yeah,
because I know we're all in like other fandoms, right? Like we're all in like video games and video game fandoms, I'm sure. And I know a lot of video game like companies. They do stuff I wish I guess Hasbro and other TV show companies would do, and just like interact with fans more and like they would like send them like goodie. I know G5 did that a little bit with like I remember didn't they send Little Shy like a care package at some point?
They sent. I don't know if that was more of a. I don't think it
was a threatening letter.
No, I don't think they just did that. No, if anything, they just paid like a marketing team to do it, and then they just typed in My Little Pony YouTube channel, and maybe his was like the first result.
Well, at least it's something.
Like, okay, I'm not gonna blame Hasbro for this, and I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm gonna sound like a type of really Brony hater when I say this. I honestly understand Hasbro's problem when it comes to the fandom, just because think about it. You make a show for a bunch of little girls, and then all of a sudden a giant grown men adult fan base like attaches to it. Do you cater towards those little girls, or do you cater to the adult fans? Like, that's the problem. It's like, how do you deal with this audience? So I understand a lot of Hasbro's reasoning for some of the stuff that they do. Like, I'm not sounding like...
I would prefer if Hasbro just pretended that bronies didn't exist.
That's kind of what they sort of did, but, like, Friendship is Magic did a good job of kind of, like, mixing it, but they weren't, like, totally annoyed by it. I feel like the only time the show ever really acknowledged bronies is, like, maybe a few references in the background every now and then, but it was never affected the overarching story or the characters. Like, we did get to the 100th episode, but that was, like, something that was never going to be done again.
Yeah, because...
But, I understand what Hasbro does. I'm not going to say I 100% agree with them, but I do understand where they're coming from when they don't really... Because I hear it's like, oh, why don't they just make toys and merchandise targeted towards bronies? And I'm like, because they don't really know what kind of market that is. That's like, would you spend millions and millions of dollars on a community that you don't know is like... Maybe it's only like a couple 100,000 people, or maybe a couple thousand people, or like... I don't know. I feel like with kids, you got a lot more. Like, you got a lot more. What's the word for it? What's the word? You got a lot more.
Market share?
Oh, I guess market share is a good word, but you got a lot more a demographic for it. My bad. That's not what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my opinions are probably.
Yeah, I just wish they wouldn't acknowledge us too much because that. Yeah.
They acknowledge.
They should have a vision. They should have a vision, and that's what they want to do. Not cater to...
I just wish their vision was like more broad and not just for little kids, you know, like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
a vision.
yeah.
It's not either or.
Mm.
But that's not gonna happen.
I just want to feel like they don't
It's a show
hate
called My
us.
Little Pony.
I just want to feel like they don't hate us, you know.
I just want to be able to walk into the girl aisle and not get made fun of.
Exactly.
They wanna never acknowledge us, but they also want our money.
I know, right?
I want
That's why they have
cool light.
third-party companies. That's why they have third-party companies to do that, like Symbiote or the ones that made those very expensive equestrian or the very expensive like human statues of ponies.
Alright. Guys, next topic though, it's gonna be a doozy, right? It's gonna be this is a dream list. It's not gonna happen, but we gotta hope.
What?
Alright. The bronies, aka the fandom, right? How are we not gonna fight and hate each other?
Oh, we're always gonna fight and hate each other.
How are we gonna come together? We gotta come together.
I hate this a lot just because, well, I guess hate is a strong word. So I kind of knew when Generation 5 was released, there was going to be a huge split. You got people that love Generation 5, people that don't really like it, and you got the ones that only like Generation 4. And so we're going to be split again because, the Generation 5, I think the Generation 5 community is going to hate Generation 6 because, you know, it's still there. It's kind of like when Generation 5 came out, Generation 4 people hated it because, well, there was that belief going around. It's like, oh, they hate Generation 5 because Friendship is Magic is over. And you know how... You kind of know what I'm getting at a little bit?
Yeah. It's just...
I feel like
the
community's
new
going to be
replaces the
split either
old,
way.
and then the people, they get sad. Yeah, they get mad, yeah.
I don't like how
split... No one likes change. And
I don't like how split the community is now.
Yeah,
just because you got the people that are diehard Generation 4 fans, and you have some that are diehard Generation 5 fans, and now we're going to have the diehard Generation 6 fans.
You can't
read
people who are like, it's just the meme of like, oh, it's the people like us, they're like, oh, 2 cakes. Where I was like, I only want this cake, I don't want this cake. Or,
yeah.
That cake's bigger than mine.
Yeah, but those
like,
people that want the cakes, they're like all over the comment section. They're all over every comment section of G5 stuff specifically going, like either talking about why G5 either sucks or why people say G5 sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I obviously I love G4. I like G5 a lot. I just wish they could do more with it. So I mean, to me, I'm probably gonna like G6.
I'm gonna like. I said this
you'll eat your words with this video.
I said this in a video, or I think a video a while back, but I'm gonna like no matter what, I'm still gonna watch any incarnation of My Little Pony because I like the brand, I like the series. I don't care. Like I'm not gonna say I'm not a G4. I'm not gonna say I'm a G4 purist because I'm not, because I like the old generations too. I like Generation 5, and I like. I don't know. I like any form of My Little Pony, and I'm looking forward to anything. I'm looking forward to anything of what this franchise has to offer.
So what you're saying is, right? What you're saying is, you're in too deep now. You can't leave. You're already outed as a brony. What are you gonna do? Say you're not a brony anymore?
Half of my house is covered in ponies. I met my girlfriend through ponies. Yes, I guess I am. I guess I am too deep.
I literally started during season 1. Like I'm not going anywhere, man. This is a part of my life.
No walking back now. We're
I've made too many friends and I've had too much life.
I'm in too deep and I cannot sleep.
All the blood in my head.
They have medicine for that, Tootsie.
Oh man. But yeah, hopefully fans stop fighting and we all live in harmony.
I don't think we're ever gonna live in harmony. Because there is no magic of friendship in the 2 generations.
As we learn from the show, friendship takes work. It doesn't always just come as easily and naturally all the time.
True.
So there's always going to be some pushback, but we just have to be accepting. We have to tolerate everyone.
Unless in like a year, or wait, about a couple of years, whenever Generation 6 comes out, and people look at this video, it's like, maybe Generation 6 blew away everyone's expectations, they lived up to everything, and everyone loves it.
The fandom is back in its golden age, there's billions of new little bronies spawning everywhere.
Billions of new bronies.
billions of little
I want
bronies.
1/6 of the Earth's population to be brony. That's
Oh,
my
Jesus.
campaign goal.
I want to be able to walk into the store again and buy those Rainbow Dash headphones again. I need.
Oh my god.
True.
We need
I
to
think
be
I
back.
broke
I want
my
horse
Rainbow Dash
shirts.
headphones.
More horse shirts, please.
Shorts and more horse shorts.
shorts.
Okay.
More horse, please. I want it.
Yeah, more horse in general. I'm down for it.
I want to be back. Like back in the day, I was able to just go into like I don't know a restaurant, and the waiter would see my pony shirt, and he'd be like, "Oh, thick, is that Twilight Sparkle?" And I'd be like, "You know it."
No question, or actually, thing. I was getting Starbucks at the Starbucks. I was getting coffee at the Starbucks, and someone was like, "Oh, is that their cutie marks?" And I was wearing like my little Prince whatever headband, and I had like all like their cutie marks enameled on there. And I'm like, you know what you know.
Do you
Every
think
now and then,
They're still out there.
every now and then, I don't do it anymore just because of my line of work. Because whenever I get my shirt dirty, stuff's never coming off. But I used to wear a bunch of pony T-shirts that I bought from like pony conventions. And I'm a truck driver, and I drive at night. And so a lot of the time, like some of the times, or every now and then, whenever I went to get fuel at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'd go inside to pay, and one of the Love's employees would just be like, "Dude, I love your shirt." And I'm like, "What?" And now I'm like half awake. I'm like, "What?" And then I look at it. It's like, "Oh, I'm wearing Twilight." It's like, "Oh, okay."
See, just do what I do, and I have Rainbow Dash's cutie marker right here on my arm. So she's always,
Every now and then, I remember one time I had like a conversation with this. I remember it was probably like around close to midnight, and I stopped for the night, and I was gonna get a shower, and I go in there, and I was talking to a girl, and the cashier saw my shirt. She's like, "Oh, I used to love My Little Pony, but then when they introduced the school, it just got stupid, and now I'm a furry now."
they're
and
stupid?
I just thought it was just really funny when she told me that.
Dang.
School is great, man. Okay.
I liked it.
It was still kind of weird.
There was
They-
just some
there.
episodes that weren't
It was just
the
it
best
was kind of weird they made them all
surrounding it.
teachers.
Yeah.
How does
And
Applejack
jobs, too.
and Rarity have time specifically to do this? That's what I still don't understand. Applejack has like so many jobs. She has no time to be a teacher too.
Mm.
Oh well.
Oh yeah, we got to shit on G4 now, right. So that's stupid. Freaking. There's so many bad episodes. It's like you can be a one really good episode one time, and then boom, you get Princess Spike thrown in, sprinkled in there. You know.
Luckily, it wasn't very often. Like I think, obviously, we have more good episodes that outweigh the bad ones. Because Friendship of Magic did have some less than stellar episodes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like the most sus ones I can.
The only one that comes to mind that I hate, and I did an entire video in my top, I think it was in the worst episodes of Friendship is Magic video, where I talked about my least favorite one will always be, crap, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was the one, Rock Up in a Hard Place.
Dang.
Oh,
I hate that episode so much.
That episode was crazy.
That one, why?
I hate that episode so much. I remember, I think I was talking to Little Shy or my friend Coaster about it, and we actually went through the leaks because all the scripts leaked, and so you can see the director's notes and like comments and all that. And Big Jim Miller actually did comment saying it's like, this kind of feels like suicide. So they acknowledged what the episode was, but they still went along with it.
Hey.
And like maybe that theme would be better in our idolized version of G6, where it has a broader audience, maybe a higher age limit. But
yeah,
Maybe.
they can
Oh my
they
God.
can handle suicide, right?
Exclusively airing on Adult Swim.
Oh no, Adult Swim, My Little Pony. You know.
I hated the fucking Spike Your Service episode, literally just because that one like bit where Applejack got her fucking hoof stuck in that little pile.
Hey, I'm actually stuck this time, totally. Oh
I forgot
god.
about that one. I forgot.
I hate that.
It was just like, I can't blame that because that's just like maybe a little animation. Like, yeah, it could have been done a little better. They could have at least had like tons of rocks on her or something.
Even then, we've seen
Make
her
it
kick
look
a boulder
believable.
across the world. I don't know if she'd have
I can't. I'm really stuck. It's like, oh no, a minor inconvenience.
Not even. Just lift your leg, bro. You have nothing to get caught on. It's a hoof. Those are pebbles, bro. What are you doing?
The hoof. Like how you said hoof.
Hoof.
Oops.
What else about G4 sucked?
Yo, the music was good, right? Maybe the G6 will have great music. You know, G5 had some, especially the movie songs I loved. So.
They had some bangers, yeah.
G5 did have some.
I don't think Daniel Ingram ever missed. Daniel Ingram literally never missed.
I will give this. I will also give this over Generation 5. Generation 5 had a much better intro song.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember it, but I remember I liked it more.
The G5 intro song slapped.
It was slap. Like the Friendship is Magic one. Notice like everyone loves it, but it's more connected to nostalgia more than it is for actual love. But I hated the Friendship is Magic song. My little pony, my little pony.
Yo,
yeah, I hated it. I didn't really like it that much.
G5, I think, has my favorite song of the entire brand of My Little Pony. Iconic from Sophia Wilde from Bridal Woodstock. That song,
oh my gosh.
I love that song.
Oh yeah,
so much. 100%. It's so good.
I like the G5 intro so much better, just because whenever I watch it, it makes me doesn't want to change the channel immediately because it's like
you have to mute it.
No, there's just I know this is ironic coming from a brony, but it's like the intro was so girly. I think it was just the lyrics and the girl singing. Maybe it'd be better if a dude was singing it, but I don't know. It just came off as just very, very feminine. Like I know it's ironic saying that from a girl show.
We need someone to rap their intro next time.
Oh God. I hope we don't get like I hope we don't get like a gangster rap like intro for Generation 6. Be like, what?
Yeah, it's only good when Izzy does it in the movie.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Are we good? So, I don't know. I honestly am trying to think of more reasons G4 sucked and they could improve, but I'm like, what else sucked?
Maybe don't hire out contract writers for certain episodes that made the characters ungodly out of.
Yeah, there were some episodes where they were
like the fun thing episode with Rainbow Dash. I fucking hate that episode.
Maybe it was just Rainbow Dash that sucked.
One thing that I thought was interesting, and more has to do with Generation 5. So, found out the movie, the Generation 5 movie, A New Generation, Hasbro basically, I don't want to say they shut down that studio, but the same studio that made the Make Your Mark series was a completely different one than who made the movies, which explains why the animation and the writing was so off, because they outsourced everything. They outsourced everything to a cheaper company. Kind of wish they went back with DHX, but basically DHX shut down and got rebranded to Wild Brain.
Man, we need the hub back. That's all I know.
Which I did find something out because I was talking with my friend about this a few days ago. But do you know why the animation for Friendship is Magic was so good?
Because they were so good at it.
I mean, technically you're right, but actually I found this is also from a leaked document a while back, is the reason that Hasbro chose DHX was the fact that their resume included a bunch of shows that were related to animals, such as like they were very used to animating like four-legged animals. So that's why I believe they were chosen for Friendship is Magic.
Yeah,
because they had a rich resume of it.
Yeah, animating people like running is already difficult enough. I can't imagine like animating a horse running. Like, dang.
Oh yeah,
that's double the amount of legs.
That's so many legs, necks, and horse.
I try to animate horses. It sucks. Prop to all the animators who can actually animate that, because I can't.
I try to avoid any sort of running possible. So far, I'm like, Alright. Is there anything else we should talk about that we have missed about a possible next generation?
I think we talked about just about everything.
I guess other than when do we expect it to come out?
At least 2 years.
No one has, bro. It might. No one has, bro. I think we might get a trailer maybe in January.
No.
Or it'll be sometime. Or it'll be sometime like maybe. It'll be probably early next, or it might be probably the middle of next year or late next year. That's what I'm suggesting.
I am not holding my breath.
I hope we'll probably get
take that shit back to the drawing board.
We'll probably get some sort of like leaks and stuff way before like we did with G5, with like the merchandise leaks that came out, and we were like, wow, look at those. Remember when G5 merch got leaked and everyone was worried that the art style on that merch was gonna be what the show looked like?
I remember that.
Everyone's like, no.
It was just like it was just 2D anime. It's like, has anyone ever seen like the original the Friendship is Magic promos, like before or the original Friendship is Magic designs before they were before the show came out?
I'm sure I saw it eventually.
They were very off. They were very, very off.
Oh man. Well, guess this is just the relaxed segment. The end. This is where we would, read out some comments from a possible previous one. But this is like the first thing we're doing like this, I guess. So
I mean, that's fine.
There's no
leave
one
your comments
to
what
read.
You want to see in G6.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Though you can like leave a comment, and maybe if we do this again,
he'll reply to every single one of them, no matter what they say, no matter what language either. He has Google Translate.
All right.
About to make that joke.
They're playing the news on the TV. Whoa.
Any news of G6?
G6 news? If you're a Hasbro executive, G6 news?
Reach out to Pear. If you're a Hasbro person, let him know.
Oh, man. Okay. So we think we're just about done to wrap this up then? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're G6 possibled out.
I'm not really sure what it's down. I'm all G6. I'm all G6, or I'm all G1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I hope they bring Megan back. I think that's like.
Dude, I wish with the Quester Girls they should have had a character called Megan in a Quester Girls. That was a missed opportunity.
It's like, isn't your name kind of simple? All right. Well, hopefully G6 brings back Megan, and they put humans in the show. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Tootsie, you're missing out not being here in person. We're just grabbing all these cookies.
I'm sorry.
See, that would be that's G6 content, and that's what we're gonna do.
I'm the average viewer.
You get average viewer. You do that. Okay. Well, Tootsie, do you want to, I don't know, promote anything that you're doing before we get on?
Not really. I mean, I'm Toots Forever. I make a bunch of, I mostly go over a whole bunch of rare and obscure My Little Pony lore revolving around Friendship is Magic. So please check out my channel if you would like to see more of it, or if you want to see that.
Yeah, Tootsie's been in the game for a long time. As I said, he's never going to leave. If he leaves now, that's admitting defeat, and that's going to make him think that he wasted many years of his life if he's just suddenly not in the fandom, right?
If I leave the fandom, I lose my friends and probably my girlfriend.
Oh, shoot.
Damn.
Like, sorry, babe, I'm done with My Little Pony. It's like, we're through. It's like, no!
Sorry, I'm more of a Cocomelon kind of guy,
Alright, I gotta unfriend you.
I don't think Cocomelon's relevant anymore.
Nah.
I guess ever since they got, destroyed by PewDiePie that one time, they're done. They're out of here.
Probably.
This burger is G6. This is everything I want to see in G6. You have top bun, you have tomato, you have burger, you have cheese, you have other bun. I don't know why it's on the bottom, and fries.
What does the bacon there represent? Is that the
brony references?
So they're derpy is what you're saying.
Yes.
Derpy's in G6 confirmed?
Yes. And G6 should just be followed Equestria animated.
Yo, followed Equestria is G6?
Think about it. Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
I think that's too dark for ponies.
No, it's perfect. Well, I guess we should probably end the video, huh?
Yeah. This is just the goof. This is the goof off session. You know, people that survive till the end, you know, they can have a little lighthearted debriefing.
Fucked up what Hasbro did to you, G5 fans.
Fucked up.
Yeah, it's very.
You didn't
I
deserve
wouldn't-
that shit.
I wouldn't take that.
Real fans over here being like. Yeah, it is pretty sad of what happened to Generation 5, and
Y'all deserve better, for real.
They're so
Yeah.
much better. Oh boy. Okay. Well, say goodbye, Pan. This is it. This is it. We're done. This is the end of the video.
See y'all when the next generation drops.
yep. Bye, guys.
Bye, friends. Comment all the stuff we said. Bye.